Welcome to the podcast by Mata. I'm your host, Joe Mata, and today we have another great show for you today. Our guest is from the adult industry, a lover of kittens and mermaids, and once you hear her name, you'll understand why. Please welcome to the show, Ariel Blue. How we doing?
Oh, hi there. How are you? Nice to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you on. Yeah, how did you okay, I understand you just had a recent change your name, your stage name?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you come about with that name?
Oh, well, I've always been a big fan of Disney, and since I just recently dyed my hair red again, I decided to go with the name Ariel. And then the last name is blue. It's my favorite color and also the color of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the two just go together really well. And my old name was all right, but it didn't really fit me, so this new name fits me a lot better.
All
And
right.
I'm really pleased.
All right. Good. I'm glad you like that. Can you tell the listeners how did you get into the industry, and can you tell us about your first experience?
Oh, well, I got into this industry. Well, I guess I'll have to start from the beginning. My freshman year of college, I read this fan fiction that was about BDSM, and that led me to join this website called FetLife. And FetLife is like a kind of like a Facebook for kinksters, and I got like exposed to the fetish community, BDSM, and porn all at once through joining FetLife. And I met this girl. She goes by the name Casey Calvert. But I knew her before she started doing porn.
Mm-hmm.
We both went to school at the same school in Florida, um, and she kind of introduced me to it. And I considered doing it about 3 or 4 years ago, but I wanted to graduate college first. And then when I graduated college, then I decided to dive right into the adult industry. And so my first experience with it was down in South Florida because I'm from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy for me to go and take the bus down to South Florida and start shooting down there. And then after that, I came out here, and the rest is history.
All right. All right. Yeah. How long have you been in the industry?
Um, well, since last May, so it's like 9 or 10 months. It'll be almost a year. Well, it'll be a year in May. So
Okay.
it's March tomorrow. So
Yes.
yeah, 10 months.
Okay. And in the short time that you have been in the industry, have you learned any important lessons from being in it?
Yes. Um, yes. Well, the most important lesson that you end up learning, well, that you learn, is save your money. Um, Save your money. Like you're going to initially be offered a lot of shoots because you are new, simply because you are new. But that won't last forever. Usually, for girls who get shot a lot, 6 months. Oh, actually, no, 3 months. For girls who get shot a lot, 3 months, because then they'll be shot out. Um, but normally it takes 6 to 8 months before the work starts slowing down, and you really need to save your money and also shoot your own content so you can profit off your own content and not just what you get booked for. Um, have multiple streams of revenue, so definitely have that many vids account set up, that clips for sale set up. Do feature dancing, stripping, night flirt, uh, whatever it is, just have multiple streams of revenue going at all times. Make custom videos, that sort of thing, so you have always have income to supplement your shoots because you're not going to just be relying on shoots for income because the work slows down very very quickly. So it's always smart to have a backup plan, and that is the most important thing any girl in this industry like needs to learn or should learn because a lot of girls they don't realize that it's not the mid 2000s, it's the 2010s, and there's a lot of porn for free on the internet. The production is not as like they're not producing as much as they used to. So and now like social media is also very important too, to keep up with social media, post on social media, interact with fans, etc.
Right.
because you are there to entertain and be a personality, and you're basically a pseudo celebrity. So
Okay.
just take a leaf from Hollywood,
All
I guess.
right. Definitely. You've learned definitely a lot in the short amount of time that you've been in there. That's definitely a good answer and some good advice to give. Now, before you got into the industry, what type of jobs did you have before you entered the industry?
Well, I was a full-time college student, but during my breaks from college, I would work at restaurants. I would work at fast food restaurants like McDonald's, or over on the East Coast, we have something called Steak and Shake. I know it's kind of foreign to people in California, but it's kind of like In and Out, but with really awesome shakes.
Oh, okay. All right.
um, and so I worked there. I worked at a grocery store. We have something called Publix on the East Coast, and everyone from the southern East Coast, like Georgia, Florida, especially Florida, will know what Publix is and their legendary chicken tender subs. But I worked at Publix, um, and then right before I did porn, I was a waitress at this local barbecue place. They
Okay.
had really awesome ribs,
All right.
and yeah,
Okay. Now,
yeah,
now you were talking about the that place, the Publix.
yes.
Now, if I took you there for to buy a sandwich, what would you order?
Well, I was never really as well. I like their sandwiches, but they got really expensive in the past couple years. I'm actually a big fan of the hot and spicy wings.
Okay.
They got hot and spicy wings. Oh, and they got sweet tea because they do not know how to make sweet tea out here in California,
Oh,
but
okay. All
in
right.
Florida they do.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, is there a performer and or a company that you would like to work with that you haven't yet?
Um. Well, there's a lot of companies that I'd like to work for. But like the top dog, obviously that would be a dream for me. Would be Brazzers because everyone knows who Brazzers is. Even if they're not in porn, they know what Brazzers is. It's actually become a meme. But aside from that, it's just synonymous. The name Brazzers is synonymous with porn. It's what you think about when you think about porn. So that's a company that I would love to work for.
Okay.
Um, Now, as far as any performers go, for Girl Girl, Riley Reed, because she is so hot and so beautiful, and I love her. I would love to work with her.
Okay.
Um, Male performers, um, it's hard to choose. Johnny Castle or Kieran Lee would be wonderful to work with.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just
Now he just had
thinking.
a that Kieran Lee. They just recently released a scene with him and Tegan Lee. She was just on the show here last week.
Oh,
That's
wow, how fascinating! That's pretty cool.
yeah. So definitely yeah. So Kieran, if you're listening now, hook up Ariel so you guys can do a scene together. Now, what's an ordinary day like for you?
Oh, well, if I'm not shooting, I'm normally on my computer, responding to emails, on my social media, so on Twitter, just
Hmm.
posting selfies or butt shots or whatever, because that's what my fans love, my butt. So I love to share my butt with them. It's one of my favorite things to do. Um, or I'm uploading a video to ManyVids, which I just got going. I've had the ManyVids since September, but I just started putting the content from my computer
Hmm.
on there.
Okay.
Or I'm networking with people to shoot content with. Um, I do the mundane things like dishes, and I make my bed, or I haven't recently, but I normally do. And I go grocery shopping. Because porn stars are normal people too. We just
Right. Exactly.
have sex
Yeah.
on camera.
That's what I try to That's the reason why I asked the kind of question because it's like the fans sometimes they get a little overzealous, a little too stalkerish, and it's just like they're just regular people like you and me. It's just they're just their job just puts them makes them a public figure, but they're just like regular people,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, exactly.
So what have you had any interaction with fans? Have they like recognized you out in public, and if so, can you have any like funny stories to tell?
Well, I don't think so. Well, but then again, I wouldn't know because, like, if people do recognize you in public, they don't normally like, come up to you. They just stare at you. But people stare at me in public anyway because my butt. I'm a white girl with a really big butt. Um,
Okay.
uh, yeah, yeah, I'm a white girl with a really big butt. So usually, like, people will just stare at my butt if I'm wearing something tight fitting, or if I'm wearing like, a dress or like leggings or whatever. They'll just be looking at my behind. But I don't know if they actually recognize me from my porn or whatever, or they're just appreciating my butt. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it probably could be both. I
Okay.
wouldn't know because I haven't actually been approached by
Oh,
anybody.
okay. Okay.
So
Well, would how would you feel if someone approached you? Would that be okay, or would you rather just have
I
them?
would I would be very flattered. I would sign. I would like if they wanted me to sign something. Hopefully they would have a pen. I don't normally have one on me, but if they wanted me to sign something, I would sign something for them. I would take a picture
Okay.
with them if they wanted to take a picture. I would be very flattered because I'm not used to being in the public eye so much. Like I was never really in the public eye much before I got into porn, but now that you're in porn, you're kind of a pseudo celebrity, so
Right.
kind of
Right.
like
Okay.
people are
Okay.
gonna recognize you.
All right. Well, there you go, fans. There you have it. There, right there. Um, Last week the Powerball was hit for 435 million. If you had hit it,
Mhm.
what would be the first couple things you'd like to do with it?
Well, I would pay all my bills. Well, actually, I would buy a house, pay it off. Obviously, buy a car, pay off all my debt. Um, and then I would donate like half of it to charity because I don't need half of 435. It's 212.5 million. So I don't need $212.5 million. So I would donate it to people in need, charities, whatnot, and then I would take like the other half of the 212.5 million, which would be 105.5, no, 106 million. I would take 106 million and put it into savings, and then that other 106 million, I could just, I mean, that's still a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
So I would definitely go on a nice vacation, buy me some a really nice mermaid tail, like one of those prosthetic ones they use in the movies.
Okay.
I would,
Okay.
yeah, I would get some really nice photo shoots done, get my hair done, get my nails done, all that. But then I would still have so much money left over. I don't, I don't know what I'd do with it. Maybe buy another house.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
You could basically just live off the interest alone itself.
yeah. I'd probably invest. Investing is a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. Start your own company.
Yeah, exactly. My own production company, Ariel Blue Productions.
There it
I
is.
can see it now.
There it is. All right. Hey, will you be attending Exotica this year in Denver?
I'm planning on it. It's later in March or is
Yes.
it
Yeah.
April?
March 31st to April
Yeah,
2nd.
that's what I thought. Yeah, I should. I hopefully plan on going. I've actually never been to an Exotica, so it'll be quite an experience for me when I go. I hope to get business cards and stuff printed out so I can hand them out.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, fans, right there. So if you're in Denver, make sure you go by Exotica so you can make sure you can see Ariel there. Where can the fans and listeners find you on social media?
On social media, well, I have a Twitter. It's the Ariel Blue. Um, and that's on Twitter. I haven't made a new Instagram for my new name yet, so I'm gonna get on that. But right now, Twitter is the only social media that I'm really super active on. I have a Fat Life as well. And then I have a mini vids, Ariel Blue. But
Okay.
other than that, I don't really have anything, and I should. I really should beef up my Instagram game.
Okay. And I noticed also on Twitter, you mentioned it earlier. You have a mini vids,
Yeah, I
and
have a mini vids.
okay, and what's the URL for that, or the name for that to find you?
Ariel Blue. Just type in Ariel Blue, it'll pop up.
Okay. All right. Do you have any final words you'd like to say to your fans?
Oh, well, I just want to thank my fans for supporting me. in my almost year-long porn career. I certainly hope to make it many more years of um, success, and I do love and adore all the fans who send me well wishes on Twitter, well wishes via email, whatever it is. I do really appreciate, and I do read each and every message that y'all send me. I really do, and I just want you to know that you're in my heart always. I carry you around with me wherever I go. So, and I just wanted to thank you for supporting me.
All right, right. That's a real nice message to give to your fans. And in closing, do you have anything coming out, or other than Exotica, any appearances or any new material coming out?
Um, I'll always be uploading new content onto ManyVids, so just check by ManyVids. As far as new material goes, I have a couple shoots coming up in March, so stay tuned for details regarding that. There are a couple of shoots in Florida, and obviously I do plan on attending Exotica March 31st. So you can plan on seeing me there. And as far as anything else, nothing right now, but stay tuned on my Twitter, of course, because I'll always post the latest updates on there.
Okay, all right. Well, there you have it, folks. I'd like to thank our guest Ariel Blue for being on the podcast by Mata, and in the near future, we'd love to have you back on.
Oh yeah, I would love to. I would love to as well. I do appreciate uh, being on here. It was quite an experience, and I feel very honored to have been your guest.
All right, well, thank you, and we're definitely honored to have you on. Thank you again, guys, for listening. This is the podcast by Mata, and we will see you next time.